Morning guys. You know those days when you just wake up, you just need to drive. Like last weekend they lifted the coronavirus regulations here in Australia and I was like, need to get out and have a drive. So last weekend we took the Skyline. This weekend I'm going to take the Falcon up Mount Glorious. Haven't been able to do this in a very long time. I haven't done it in probably a good 8 months or so. Like it's been a long time since I went up Mount Glorious last time. The Falcon's feeling great. It's all fixed. Everything's all good. So yeah, let's mic it all up right now. I'll start heading up the mountain and I hope you guys really enjoy it. So I did see a little bit of smoke sort of billowing up over here. I just want to make sure that's brakes and not anything else, because I did just do complete power steering fluid sort of change bit. Just want to make sure that it's nothing crazy. Probably coolant, to be honest. It'd be coolant, or it's not brake fluid, which is good, so. Cool. Better to be safe than sorry, I guess. My feet just got wet from the aircon. Damn it! Yes.
Okay, we'll get crew straight out. So
all right, thank you very much.
It's a fire in the engine bay.
Yeah, correct. Yes, yeah.
Halfway. Okay.
Yes, correct. All right, thank you very much.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Holy, I wasn't expecting that today. Holy. Yeah, it looks like it's calmed down a little bit. As soon as I pulled over, it was really bad, but
Yeah,
Yeah, it's still just down the very bottom. Yeah, it's very, very small.
Yeah, so if you come over this side, you
Yep.
can see where the fire is.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
what we might do, just for a bit of safety, is
Yeah, just go back up here. Yeah. Oh, really? Cheers. Yeah, Thanks for stuff. I appreciate it. Zach, by the way.
Oh, nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Hey, mate, Zach.
Hey, Zach.
Nice to meet you, man.
We like to stay back from it. That way,
Yeah,
if
you're right.
anything
Yeah,
does get a bit exciting.
yeah. Cheers.
Oil.
I'm not quite sure. The lines that it's on is actually the power steering line.
Yeah.
Let's see. You see it down the roof. What's that? It's just down the bottom here. I don't know whether water would help it, would it?
It's just been in the plastic.
Yeah.
The plastic coatings.
Yeah, you're right. Cheers.
Shoot a bit of a squirt.
Yep.
And if it goes exciting, I think we got fuel. I think that's at least the fire out.
Yeah. Oh man.
There's a lot of heat in there.
Yes.
So it's
Yep.
quite possible it'll evaporate and ignite again.
Yeah.
that's
No.
turbo.
Yeah. So that's
God.
the fire is probably chuck some power
Yeah,
on
yeah.
if it goes up again.
Yep. Man, I am. Yeah, I was getting very stressed, and as you guys could probably see in the footage. Massive thanks to the two blokes on bikes that stopped and gave me a hand. One thing that we were super worried about was the fact that if it wasn't an oil fire, I did call the fireys, yeah, as you guys heard in the footage, but we managed to get it out. I didn't want it to go anything more crazy or I didn't want it to do anything. Actually, those two blokes there, they just stopped and had a chat to me for a good like 45 minutes. Absolute legends. But yeah, the two bike guys that were here that managed to help me out just saw, like, we put a little bit of water on to see if we could just stop the flames. That way we could sort of just try and save some of the wiring that was there. But yeah, we managed to get all the flames out with just the water, so I cancelled the fireys, got that all sorted, and I'm not going to jump to any conclusions whatsoever because I haven't had a chance to look under there or do anything crazy. Nothing turbo looks crazy, but there's also no power steering whatsoever. So either I'm honestly leading to, I haven't got in there or done anything because literally it's that hot and just there's melted sort of wiring everywhere, and I'll be able to sort that out a little bit later anyway. But it's just a little bit too hot for me to sort of get in there and sort of work out what the issue is at the moment. But I'm leading to believe that I set my power steering line on fire. The one that actually goes, the one that goes from the cooler to the reservoir. I believe I've actually split that with the turbo. I originally thought it was a blown turbo, because that's all I could. There was like just fluid everywhere, and it had been sort of flicked up everywhere, and I didn't think anything else could do that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look at it a little bit later. I'm not quite sure exactly what happened. I'm just glad it's out, glad the car's safe, and definitely going to be investing in a fire extinguisher for now. So yeah, definitely not how I thought today would end. So we're actually going to catch up with an old friend of mine, James Mills. If you guys all know good old Millsy, and you guys might know that name from the Skid Factory, the guy that owns a Barra Bedford has a trailer that he is coming to pick me up in. So massive thanks to him. I'm miles away from him, but he's an absolute legend and I cannot thank him enough. So he's going to come pick up the car because I have no power steering and I do not want the same thing to happen again. Yeah, very worrying, very scary. So all sorted though. Alright, so I managed to get the car up to somewhere a little bit more straight. As you guys can see, it's kind of, the other place didn't really have, I didn't want anyone to sort of come and collect the back of my car, especially when we're trying to load it up. So this right here, it's got a bit of a better straight. It does come around a corner there though, but it was like the only place I could kind of find that has a little bit of room. So I've pulled over about sort of, 10, 100 meters up, whatever, I don't really know. Just waiting for James at the moment, so hopefully he can pull up his trailer right in front of us, and that way we can just load it up really quickly. But yeah, no, it's crazy. Man, I didn't expect this. I'm so thankful the car's still here, to be honest. Because you see a lot of other people, and when their cars start burning, they don't stop. I'm very lucky mine did. I'm very lucky that guy flashed his lights too, otherwise my car would have been a lot worse than it is. Look who comes to rescue me. The man himself. What are you doing up here?
I was doing a bit of drifting with the trailer on, you know.
That didn't sound too healthy, whatever that was. Yeah. That seems alright, I guess.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know, you might remember this bloke from the Barra Bedford video that we did. He drove all the way from where? Greenbank or something?
Yeah, Greenbank.
Just
Down the road, mate.
Just down, oh yeah, right. About an hour and a half away. Now you're about to go an hour and a half north and then 3 hours south.
Yeah.
Mate, I cannot.
A bit of fun.
I cannot thank you enough. Right, so I must admit, performance has increased. It's a much nicer ride now. It's a lot more comfy than the Falcon, this car.
Is it?
Yeah, I was going to say it goes faster and everything. You're flying through these mountains. Nah, this is awesome. Hey guys, what's up? I thought I would do a little bit at the end of the video just going over pretty much everything that happened today. I'm in a pretty shitty mental state, to be honest, and it's not a very nice sort of look. I'm just going to put this camera down so I can kneel down because I'm scared. Yeah, I'll be completely honest, what happened today was terrible, and I know that what I'm about to say is going to get a lot of feedback and probably negative feedback, but if that is you, just please try and hold your comments to yourself, because I already know exactly what you guys are thinking and I really couldn't care less, because you know, I see it every single day and it gets pretty old over time. So trust me, if any of you guys think that those sort of comments are going to hinder what I do every day, trust me, they're not. Well, it says, had a shower and I have now come back down to my car. Massive thank you to James for coming and helping me out, taking about 4 hours out of his nice Saturday when he should have been shopping for his wife's Mother's Day present. But no, he was actually out helping me sort out the car. So the car actually lit twice. So the second time when I went to try go drive it again, drove it about 100 meters up the road to try and get somewhere flatter, because where I was really sort of dangerous, and I don't, with bikes and cars flying around the corner, I didn't really want to stay there. So I drove 100 meters up the road to try and get to one flat surface. Originally I was going to try and make it to the lookout, and I would pull over as soon as I saw smoke. I saw smoke within about 100 meters. The fire relit, went out by itself. Really stupid decision of me to drive it again, and one that I will not do again. You know, it's all a learning curve and everything. And I've been sort of searching, and I called Gene as well, and this is what happened. So if you guys remember, when I was trying to do that power steering pump, I had the power steering pump off for 2 weeks, and I was about a week or so, and I was trying to look out for, you know, power steering issues or anything else as well. If you guys remember, right in front of me, I have the Mackie-Lek power steering relocation reservoir kit. Great bit of kit, by the way, like it's an awesome little bit of kit. But one thing that I left on there was so when it comes off the power steering cooler, it goes into a long line that goes all the way back up to the firewall and then plugs back into here. And that's a return line for the power steering, and then it goes back and then feeds back into the pump through this longer line here. Now, when I put the new power steering pump in, I had original intentions to put that one back in. And so doing a little bit of digging, and also judging by the fact that there is no power steering in there, we've had a power steering issue It's then caught a light on the turbo with how hot it was going up and down the mountain. And then I have, yeah, that's when the car caught fire. So that secondary line, the really long line that I had that went all the way back up, because I had intentions of putting the original relocation back in, I left the line longer, so that way I was able to put the relocation back in. So I fed it all the way down and then back up and then back into the bottom of the power steering line. And when I did that, there's some lines sort of down, sort of a little bit in front of the turbo, and I zip tied it to them. Looking at those lines right now, there is no zip tie there. There was a little bit of zip tie around the back where the lines had pressed on and it had sort of melted from the fire today. So yeah, the back of the zip tie is there, but there's nothing else of the zip tie. The zip tie's melted away with the heat of the turbo. I could imagine going up that mountain road and using the turbo as much as I did. It probably got a little bit too hot for all that sort of stuff that I did there. I haven't done any spirited driving since getting that power steering sort of stuff fixed. It could have happened last week on Clear Mountain, but luckily it didn't. So awesome. Because Clear Mountain, trust me, is it is bad. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to stop anywhere. I was lucky I was on Glorious, to be honest. So yeah, that long line went all the way around. The zip tie has melted and broken free. The line has then gone out, and instead of wrapping around beside the shock tower, it has then touched the turbo. The turbo has punctured the line and melted the line, which is then because of the power steering pump was pushing pressure through that line. It was then melting it and spraying it all over the left-hand side of the hot side of my engine bay. And yeah, there's power steering fluid sort of everywhere. Like it's all up along the back side of the firewall. It's all up on the bonnet and all up towards the front. There's not much damage, which is I'm really super thankful for. A lot of the power steering fluid just sort of coated literally all the paint. There is some brown spots in there, but that's expected. It was burning for around about, I dare say, 5 or 6 minutes before the flames got small enough that we were able to test out patches with water. Because obviously, if it was, let's say, if you put water on an oil fire, I think it's something along these lines. But if you put water on an oil fire, it could spread it. It could just get a lot worse. So we tested a little spot first. The bike rider that was there that pulled over for me. He was an absolute legend, by the way. I didn't get his name. I have it on GoPro. But yeah, if you're watching this, man, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Because I went up to him with complete gibberish and I just went, hey man, my car's on fire, I don't know what to do. And he was like, okay, all right, chill, call this, do that. Here is everything you need, and perfect, yep. So yeah, he was a really big help. He called his brother or friend up as well. And he was a nice bloke too. Yeah, both of them were able to help me out. There's a few little lines melted down behind, or down beneath the brake reservoir, or the brake master cylinder, sorry. And yeah, the reservoir as well. All those lines are melted from the fire. There's luckily there's not many rubber hoses down there, but I'm probably gonna have to replace a few. Luckily we are pulling the turbo off next week, so that way we can sort of inspect the damage and do all the hoses right there. That'd be great. Oh yeah, I guess I'll show you guys. So as you guys can see, there's a little bit of sort of brown and just flaking up paint all down the bottom there, which is expected, but the power steering fluid actually coated a lot of this and it was all good. But when I came out to the car the first time, as soon as I popped the bonnet, there were flames sort of coming up and around the turbo area and everything else as well, and it was, I'm guessing probably the bottom of the, oh no, hey, there you go, the Mackie silicone hose was all good. Yeah, no, so I could imagine there's probably a lot of lines that sort of run down the bottom of the turbo there that aren't so great at the moment. What I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to see if I can find that line that's burnt through. There you go, guys. Can you see it? Right there. That would be a very brittle power steering hose right there. Very, very brittle power steering hose. So, yeah, she melted on the turbo. Yeah, with the pump going around, sprayed the turbo, everything got very hot, everything caught fire, a lot of smoke, and very, very thankful for that four-wheel drive, because I did not look back that whole time, and it could have been smoking for a very long time, could have been on fire for a very long time. The dash cam footage is gone because before that it melted through the lines, and there's no dash cam footage anywhere. It would have had power, but not, and like it would have got hot, and as soon as it was gone. But I did have that front footage. It's only the back footage I didn't have. But I went to go looking for it so I could see how long it was smoking for. Didn't have any footage whatsoever of how long it was smoking for. So that's, yeah, it's just yeah, I'm just super thankful for that four-wheel drive. Because I knew something was really wrong when he like flashed me. I'm like, okay, there's police ahead, awesome. I can clickbait my video. No, just joking. No, I think if he flashed me and I thought, okay, police ahead, and then he flashed me like hell on his lights, and I'm like, okay, crap, like this is okay, something's wrong. Looked behind me, maybe they were behind me, and there was just smoke everywhere, and I'm like, oh crap. So I pulled over as soon as possible, as soon as it was sort of safe to. That's when I saw that. And yeah, you guys would have heard me originally, I thought that it was a blown turbo, because when you're sort of in that situation, you kind of just jump everywhere and you go, oh, blown turbo this, you know, done that. Turned out the turbo's fine. The 3576 is just mint, been pushing 18 pounds for a very long time now. But yeah, it just got hot and disintegrated that line, and then threw power steering fluid everywhere. So yes, I understand a lot of you guys in the comments are going to go, but you did that yourself, you know, you should have taken it to a real mechanic. I understand that, yes. I do understand that. And trust me, I see thousands of comments that people are telling me to take it to a mechanic. There's no way you can, you can learn from a mechanic and you can do stuff, but I would prefer to either take it to someone that knows what they're doing, that way I can watch and learn, and then I try and apply those things myself and figure it out for myself. You know, the only way you're going to figure stuff out is if you fail. And I've failed with YouTube videos before, I've figured it out, and I've come back stronger from it. You know, this is just something that I can bounce back from, get stronger, and understand that putting zip ties and rubber lines and everything that close to a turbo when everything else was, you know, hard mounted towards the shock tower, you know, this is going to be something I can learn from. So I do understand in the comments there's going to be a lot of hatred. I do understand that. Yes, I do not care. Originally I wasn't going to post this video, but I thought it was a great opportunity because there is a lot of my viewers, I think around 44%, that are between 16 to 24 years old, all a lot younger, all starting to get into cars and all that sort of stuff. Just wanted to let you know that, and it's a great learning experience for sort of everyone, that you know, make sure you have a fire extinguisher ready. So that is going to be the first mod for both my cars, because you know, as soon as I saw it, especially as soon as I opened the bonnet and there was smoke, and then the flames were sort of coming up from that side and all around the turbo, I'm like, you don't think in that moment, you kind of just rush to quick decisions and just try and get everything done. But I don't know what I did. I opened my engine bay and I looked at it for a bit, and this is all I can remember, is I'm just going, oh crap, my car's done. I'm done. I went and grabbed my phone. I texted Jean and I said, hey, my car's on fire on top of Glorious. Like within 10 seconds of me finding out that my car's on fire, I texted Jean. I have no idea why, but yeah, it's kind of like, it kind of gives you, you know, there was no one around. I was by myself in the car. There was no one behind me. There was no one in front of me. And so that's when I waved down that biker, and he luckily came over and he sort of helped me through that whole lot, which you guys probably heard in the GoPro footage. Yeah, legend of a bloke. I really appreciate it. But, you know, I was quick to sort of point to a lot of different things, and in that moment, that all I could think of was just looking at it and replaying back sort of videos that I'd seen in my mind from YouTube that have just, you know, where, you know, fires on cars can get out of control really quickly. And I'm glad that this one didn't, because it was all very contained, even though like all I saw was flames, and I just thought that was over, to be honest, because I had no water, no fire extinguisher, and then I looked around and I was completely by myself and my car was on fire. You know, like there's not really much you can do when you're in that sort of situation. So my first thought was, you know, I have to get away from the car, get all my cameras, sort of get what I could, and yeah. But it's given me a massive big respect for this car. You know, it's been through a lot. It's been to Victoria and back. It's done a sick burnout at Archerfield. It's been under fire. Is there anything that Falcons can't do now? No, it's joking. Yeah, no, massive thank you to everyone that helped. I really appreciate it. Yeah. It'll come back stronger. It'll come back without anything around the turbo. It'll also come back with a bigger turbo. Don't know why I'm doing that, but but I'm not installing it, so that's a good thing. Yeah. Anyway guys, yes, I hope you all learned something from this video. I definitely did. And my car's still here, so yes. Go get a fire extinguisher. Do it. You need it. See you guys.